So, welcome to another episode of Consciously Curious. We have Rob Fury with us. He is a Chicago-based, thriving actor, and he wears many hats, from what I can see, from an outsider's perspective: professional wrestling, professional cosplay. So we're here to, kind of get some insight into all those worlds, and maybe end with how can one kind of dabble and dive and get their feet wet in the acting world. Right. Cool. So before we kind of did this introduction, we were getting pretty deep within cosplay. Okay. So I want you to let me know how long have been doing it? Who was your inspiration? Do you have any influences right now? And you kind of mentioned some earlier. And how can someone, I didn't know this was a thing, professional cosplay. So how can you make cosplay a profession?
Okay. How I got into it. The first cosplay I ever did was Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
My best friend Beck, hashtag shout out to Papa Bash, aka Butthole Surfer for Life.
What?
Yeah. You have to understand, if you ever listen to the band The Butthole Surfers, you would understand.
Okay, all right.
They're actually a band.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're a band, The Butthole Surfers. So I know it's the most awkward thing ever. But yeah, so we went to New York Comic Con 2013, and we went there, and I studied that movie for at least 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
And just that scene, just to get Marvin's brains just right on the right side of my head. I put the silly string to make it like brains. I put the theater blood. So it's dripping all over me. We went to like the Goodwill and got like $5 tuxes.
For sure.
And like suits, actually, not tuxes. And we look great. I'm putting fake corn syrup blood on me. That suit is done. I should have kept it though. That could have just been a recurring card. But anyway, that's how it started. And the first cosplay, like, I stepped on that floor and I cried.
You cried?
I legitimately cried because I said, I've been waiting for so... I possibly could say this is like 2000. I've been trying to get tickets for New York Comic Con and I've never gotten tickets because they always sell out.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, either that or when I have the money, they're sold out. And when I don't have the money, there's tickets around. So I was like... Ugh. And then we finally got to go in 2013, and I just cried. And my friend was like pushing me. He's like, "Okay, you take some walk," and we walked, and it was a great experience. And I got to meet my first ever big time cosplayer, which was Ivy Dream Kitty, and she is one of the royalty of cosplay as well. Another queen of cosplay. She's absolutely fantastic. Actually. I talk to her on Twitter.
Sure.
I talk to her on Instagram at times. Awesome people. It's like when it doesn't matter if you're like a humongous like cosplayer with like millions and millions of followers, or you're a cosplayer with like only like 5 followers. Like if you're in a cosplay community and you're good people, you're connect.
They all love each other. No matter
yeah,
what.
Exactly. Okay. It's a big community that we built, and with the Age of the Geeks, like I said, we built that up and. Now, Age of Geeks has been in operation for 4+ years. We're in Chicago. We're in Orlando, and
is this like a professional group, or like is this solely a Facebook group? Like what is Age of the Geeks?
The Age of the Geeks cosplay group is basically a bunch of professionals. We are professionals, all professionals in cosplay. It's either you're seamstress, you're tailor, you can make your own costumes. A lot of us are actors, actors models, so we know how to do that. So we're in the entertainment industry, hosting and such. So we all have our different talents, and we all bring a different aspect to the group.
Okay.
And same thing with Orlando, and like I said before, we actually throw different events in the Chicago area for the geek community and for the regular community in Chicago.
Right.
And on top of that, we work with different charities. So right before we started talking today, I was actually talking with some of my cabinet members of the Age of the Geeks. We were talking about there's a children's museum. We're going to be a part of them for the 4th year in a row now. For their big casino.
Did you say Comer's or Lurie's or?
I believe it's Lurie's.
Lurie's, okay.
Yes.
Northwestern.
I believe so.
The one downtown right here.
Yes.
Okay.
And We usually do the casino nights. I forget. I literally went there I don't know, the last 3 years because I've had other, literally other opportunities that I had to like be at. That's how involved Age of Geeks have been in the Chicago scene for the last 3 years. That we have become the premier cosplay group in Chicago, and I'm very proud of that name and that moniker because we have done a lot. We have worked with a lot of different charities. We work with Costumers with a Cause. They are a big charity group of cosplayers and costumers that come and work primarily with charities, and we've collaborated with them as well, and it's just been a great experience being in the cosplay community and being able not to only to entertain but to actually give back.
Right.
And once it started, like talking about getting paid as a cosplayer, first off, I was just really relentless. I emailed every different con, but like, hey, how are you doing? My name is Rob Fury. I am the president of Age of the Geeks. You guys need us at your con, and here's why. Basically, Wizard World was the first Comic-Con that gave us a chance. And they've always been the con closest to my heart. And then after that it was Chicago Pop Culture Con, and then C2E2, and then Indiana Comic Con, and then Michigan Comic Con.
So I mean, when you're putting yourself out there, you really need to hook them with that first message. So what is it? What part of that message actually hooks them? Do you think? Like, what value are you bringing them?
Well, that's the whole thing. You have to show what your value is.
Right.
A lot of people, because I get a lot of messages on Facebook from people in Chicago, from people out down south, and surprisingly a lot overseas. I've gotten a few like Ukrainian people cosplayers. I've gotten a few Irish cosplayers, and like a few Scottish cosplayers, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I see that you guys are doing so many things. Like, how do you you're at so many cons? How do I get into a con?" I tell them, "Okay, you want to get into a con? What do you do? What do you do? Like, the Age of Geeks, we're at a con. We we have our booth. We entertain. We sell our prints. We sell like our own personal items that we know geeks would like, and our specialty is we host and MC cosplay contests. Like, at a con, you don't need to worry about your cosplay contest or your costume contest because we have it settled. We have it taken care of. We don't need any of your workers. We will come in, we'll take care of it, we'll organize the people, we'll sign up the people, we'll instruct the people, we'll organize it to right before the contest, we will host the contest, we will do the judging, we will give out the awards, and then we'll close down the contest. So we do everything for that, and that's one of the main things that we do. We do a lot of other
you're
things as well.
providing an experience for the guests that come to those cons.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because me personally, I got fed up going to costume contests, cosplay contests, especially during Halloween, that you spend so much time on your work and you're basically looked over because somebody has more friends in the crowd and you have more clapping, or somebody's a friend of a friend and that trashy outfit wins over craftsmanship. No, I said that's it. That's bullshit. That's done. Any con I'm going to be at, if I could be part of making that con better and to give cosplayers a actual platform to show off their work, to actually have other people in the community. Like, we love inviting other cosplayers, especially if we're like going to a different city, like Indianapolis. We love getting like Indianapolis cosplayers, like Indiana cosplayers, to be a part of. Like James Wolfgart and his crew, they are like the top like cosplay crew in like all of Indiana. Those guys rock, So it's like anytime like we're around, like we always love collaborating with them. And it's like, if we're in Michigan, we try to collaborate with like top Michigan cosplayers. You have Disfusional Studios. Her name is Ashley. She is like the top, like one of the sickest toga cosplays from My Hero Academia, and some of the sickest like Scarecrow from Batman that you'll ever see, like right there. So it's like we love working with these people and like bring them in as judges or bring them as like co-hosts alongside with me and giving people a fun, exciting time.
So instead of a popularity contest, you actually
Yes.
bring professional cosplayers to actually do
Yes.
the judging.
Yes, and we judge it. We judge it on multiple different criteria to make sure that every person that gets on stage has a chance. Just because, like, let's say that your craftsmanship is not so up there, but yet again, you embodied the character that you're in, and you literally won over the crowd. That will win you points
Yeah.
because just because you're in costume doesn't mean that's it. No, you have to embody the character. That's
I'm
all
sure
one of
you've
cosplay.
met players that wear the costume, like you said, but know nothing about the character. A huge disservice.
Hey, listen, I run into people like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, and I just move on.
Okay.
Because it's what's the point?
It's like, why? Why are they? Yeah, it's like...
People, you see the things that you encounter more of those Deadpool characters.
Oh.
Yeah, they're more,
I mean, those Deadpool videos that I've seen,
I'm
like,
so
every
tired
one of
Deadpool.
them...
I'm tired of Deadpool. Deadpool. All right. I'll say it right now. Deadpool and the Joker are two cosplays that allow really douchey people to act douchey at a convention or a party, and it's like not saying all Joker cosplayers or all Deadpool cosplayers do that.
Right.
But if you go to a con and you see someone acting like a douche, most likely it's going to be some Joker trying to laugh in your face and be obnoxious, or some person being Deadpool, like trying to do stupid things, and you're just like,
But you can be in character without, being a douche about it.
yeah. But the thing is that people purposely choose to be that character, be like, yo, this guy's a complete douchebag. I could be a douchebag, yeah. So it is what it is. But going on and trying to getting paid, it's like, yeah, well, no, not even getting paid, but just getting the cons. You have to find exactly what your niche is, what you can do. If you are, a professional cosplayer and you have over 100,000 likes and followers on your Instagram, there's a good chance that you will get approached way quicker than someone that has only 1,000.
Because they want your following to come to the con.
Exactly.
Right.
You see, and that's the benefit that those popular influencers have. If you're just starting off, you have to find what your niche is, what is your value to the con. Why does the con need you?
And by niche, what do you mean? Like setting up an event, setting up a
No,
contest?
No. What is your niche? What is your gimmick? Plain and simple. Like I said, AOG's gimmick is we provide experiences, we set up a contest, we host contests.
Okay.
There are people that they do acrobatics. So you know what? They get into Comic-Con to do acrobatics, like Acrobatica Infinity.
Oh, okay.
They are a cosplay group that they are all acrobats, and
You can do a lot with that.
They're amazing.
That's really cool.
They're amazing, but that's their niche. That's
So
their
what, do
gimmick.
they put on a show at the convention?
Yes, they do. They have a booth, and they
Oh.
actually have they put on mini shows like during their booth, and they actually have a block about, I believe it should be a half an hour to an hour, like either during the con or after the con, that people go and see them do their work, and that's their niche. They are acrobats. That's their gimmick. So it's like you have to understand what can you bring to a con, and why does a con need you? The con does not need you. You want to be needed by the con.
Right.
The con could do, like, big cons like C2E2, they could care less.
Right.
But if you could bring them a benefit, then they'll start caring.
So that being said, if you weren't an influencer, do you have any shot at getting into a con by yourself, or you'd probably be better off searching for a group to be part of?
I really don't know. I would, because for me, I always wanted to get a group of people. I never thought of myself as an individual cosplayer.
Do you know anyone that
I know
is
individual.
a lone wolf? That...
Yeah, absolutely. I know tons of individual cosplayers, and individual cosplayers, they do their own thing. If you're by yourself, it's harder and easier at the same time. It's easier because you can control what you want, when you want, do whatever you want, because it's only you. If you're in a group, you have to either listen to who's in charge, either the president, the owner, the chair, or whatever, and like whatever events you have to
Some
bring
people are
in.
anti-authority.
Yeah, so it's like it's whatever you do. But yet again, in a group, you have multiple people going towards your goal, so you could possibly have more exposure.
Right.
If you're by yourself, it's just you.
Right.
So it could be a detriment, or it could be a positive. So.
Right. And, you know, from an outsider's perspective, it seems like it's already a very tight-knit community. So you'd probably want to be part of a circle that even if you don't make it to a con, that you can just hang outside, you know, hang out together outside of the conventions.
We, like, the cosplay community is really tight. It is one of those communities that you go other places, and once they know that you're a cosplayer, you're pretty golden.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of the coolest things I've ever happen in my life was when I went to Europe. And I went to Kiev, Ukraine. I went to Odessa, Ukraine. I went to Amsterdam, amazing, and I went to Stockholm, Sweden. And when I just had finished doing a mini photo shoot of the Night's Watch in like the in the forests of Sweden, and I took my Night's Watch cosplay, and I took Night's Watch pictures in every country I was in, because I said I was going to do it. I told people I was going to do it, and I did it. So, yeah, there you go. Name's Rob Fury, I get shit done. And it's so funny, because, like, I'm literally in Stockholm, and I'm in McDonald's, and I just had posted the pictures on my Instagram. And I have the sword, like the wooden sword that's sticking on my bag. And it's like, oh, I see the sword. Hold on. Are you Rob Fury? I'm like, oh.
Get out of here.
Why? It's like, we just saw you on the Instagram. I was like, no.
That is so
I'm like,
cool.
that's bullshit. I'm like, I'm trying to see if my friend that lives in Sweden, like, set me up. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, this is for real? Like, literally, these teenagers that, you know, because I put the hashtags and everything, and they saw me.
The power of the hashtag.
Right? And they saw me, as a Nice Watch, and they're like, oh my God, and I legit, on my Instagram, after I put down those pictures, I have a picture of me and these two Swedish kids, like, holding up this wooden sword in like, ready for valor, ready for honor. And I'm like,
that is amazing.
This is hilarious. I'm halfway across the world right now. Well, I'm not halfway. I'm just across the Atlantic. And I'm like, oh.
Just across the pond, yeah.
Yeah, but is the Atlantic or Pacific?
Atlantic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Geography is not number one right now. And to know that happened, and to know that, and it has like only at 1,500 people on Instagram. Right now, I just broke 1,700.
Wow.
And, oh my God. It took me 3 months, goddammit, circling from like 16.
It's funny. It's but I'm sure you're so busy doing all the things that you love doing that you're not too concerned about the numbers at the moment.
I need to. I need to.
But you are putting yourself in as many hats as you can, and sooner or later you'll just get picked up.
Yeah, but the thing is that the whole point of social media is that you have to create content. And the worst thing about social media is that you have to create content, which sucks. But like you said, I am putting a lot of hats on, and I'm doing a lot of things. I have a lot of projects in fire. So when I'm able to say, hey, I'm doing this project, bam, content. Hey, I'm doing this, content, throwing content here, throwing content there. Hey, content in your face, content over there, content over here, you know? And I won't just throw content all over the place. And I love, oh my gosh, like, seriously, Thursday to Fridays, I love it because it's Throwback Thursdays and Flashback Fridays. Throw your old shit. It's the best.
Yeah.
Like, I just literally, like last week, I was just looking, I'm like, what are hashtags that people use every day? And I saw Throwback Thursday, I'm like, I know that. What's on Friday? I'm like, Flashback Fridays. If you missed Throwback Thursdays, here's your chance at Flashback Fridays. I was like, hell yeah, I am. Oh man, I'm gonna use Flashback Fridays.
My friend uses What Gives Wednesdays. What gives?
What? No. What gives Wednesday? That doesn't make sense. Wednesdays is Hump Day. Like, come on now.
You can rotate it every other.
What gives?
Like, what gives?
I don't know. What the hell? What kind of a question is that? What gives?
Anything that you have a gripe on in life, like, what gives? And
wouldn't it be what grinds my gears Wednesday?
Same thing.
Then, yeah.
But it's you're fostering a community and an engaging community. So anything that incites a conversation, that's all you should be looking for. And it's weird, but like controversy or even like a typo will spark a controversy. Like will spark.
People are lame.
I know. But if you want to play the game of social media, they have those algorithms where like, oh, there's this many comments, they've sent it to this many friends, they've bookmarked it this many times, and that's gonna put you on the explore feed.
Mm-hmm. The explore feed. Damn it. And I that's one thing that I hate about Instagram. One, their algorithm sucks. Two, YouTube's algorithm sucks some more. And three, how everybody and their mother is like, hey, great post. Won't you check out mine? Or, hey, I love your post. Would you like to be a sponsor? Click our link. Or, oh my God, I love your content. Check out our page and message us for some great deals. Like, shut up. Shut up. Oh, hey, what's going on? Oh, I love the DMs that you get randomly. Hey, what's going on? My name is Tyler, and
I'm a social media marketing agency.
Yeah, and I think our company could help you get some great followers. And trust me, they're not bots. And then I look at their page, they have 13 followers and 0 posts. I'm like, who are you? Get out of here. I'm like, if I see a social media thing that has like over like 500,000, it's like, yo, we can help you with your stuff. I'm like, okay, you have 500,000, I guess so. But I'm still not gonna pay for it because I don't want fake people following me.
Real recognizes real.
Yeah,
and you're
man.
a very authentic person.
I want people to understand, to follow me from the inception, from the little tiny embryo of weirdness that I am, to the supernova of excitement that I have become and I shall be. Well, I haven't become it yet, but I shall become in the future.
You want it to be organic.
Yeah. I like the engagement. I like talking to people.
Right.
You know, it's like, that's how I am. I like engaging. I like talking to people. I like, how does List 25 say, conciliating curiosity? That's what they used to do. I don't think List 25 is even on YouTube anymore. No, yes they are. I haven't subscribed to them. I'm sorry, List 25. I will be watching you guys some more. They have some great List 25 lists. So check out. I'm not a sponsor for any of these people. I'm not getting paid for this.
You just like their content.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like if you really like somebody's content, you drop them beat, like drop a beat.
So aside from being recognized as a celebrity across the pond, what other moments of cosplay do you like? Is there any sense of fulfillment, right? So you said you've had opportunities to give back, but is there any other, what do you take pride in as being a cosplayer?
One of my my second greatest, I have to say, besides being recognized over there, was being able to help get my group, the Age of the Geeks, the cover of Cosplay Zine magazine.
In which you were comparing to like Sports Illustrated for
that is like the
for
second
sports.
Cosplay Culture magazine would be the Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
I would say Cosplay Zine would be like the body and fitness of magazine. So it's like it's the second place. It's second place. It's not the top one, but it's the second place one. And for us to be in the second highest publication for cosplay, and to have the cover, and for it to be us in our glorious Star Wars costumes, and for us to be launching the cosplay group issue of that, it just felt really good, because like there's not a lot of like groups out there. A lot of people want to just do things on their own, and I always tell everybody this, you could poke one person with a finger and that's strong, yeah, whatever, but you know what, if you take 5 of those fingers, you put them together and you make a fist, that's way more impactful.
I love that.
Than that one finger. So it's just like I always tell people, hey, let's go plus ultra, let's give that fist. Not fisting, that fist.
To each their own, Rob.
Right? Hey, yo. It's like no lube, but like I've always been one of those people that I like bringing people up with me, and that might be a fault of mine, but every time I collaborate with someone, I say, hey, when we do something, I'm going to make sure that I promote you and I market you as best as I can. And I'm going to make sure whatever success I have, you're coming up with me. And a lot of people out there, just in life in general and in the industry, they rather just look out for themselves, which is it's absolutely fine. Survival of the fittest, absolutely fine.
Right, it's kind of how we were made, right?
But you have to understand that nobody makes it completely on their own.
Yeah.
No, nobody makes it on their own. Period.
Yeah.
You need help. So let's say if you're a business owner, you're gonna need a loan to start that business. So you didn't, even if from that small business you made and became a multimillionaire, you needed that first loan. You need that person to give you a break and give you that first loan. Without that first loan, you would never have been able to start your business.
Mm-hmm.
Then, hence, you would never be a multimillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody needs someone,
Mm-hmm.
as much or as little as they may think or may want it. Everybody needs someone.
Yeah.
And I am just not stupid. I like to bring positive people around me, and I say, hey, you know what? Let's work on stuff together. And if we're both going to benefit from it, absolutely awesome. If I'm only going to benefit from it, I don't want it.
Yeah.
If you're only going to benefit from it, I don't want it.
Right.
I believe in equivalent exchange. It's like what's fair for you is fair for me. And that's something that a lot of people have lost a sense of nowadays. It's all about me, all about hoarding, all about mine. And, everybody wants that. I don't care for it.
Right.
Do I want more money? Oh, yeah. But am I going to be greedy about it? Nah.
Yeah.
Because karma is a bitch.
No.
And the universe will come back and it will bite people hard.
Right.
Sometimes it takes the universe longer to bite some people in the ass, but it'll
come. Yeah,
it always comes.
It'll come. What's been one of your favorite characters to play? And on average in the industry, like what are some average times to create some of these characters?
My favorite character at the Cosplayer right now is definitely All Might because of my extreme love for My Hero Academia. But my claim to fame has been my Darth Maul.
Oh, really?
Yes, my Darth
I
Maul
can see
going 2.5 hours of makeup, working with the fantastic and talented Maria Filipovich of MF Body Works. We have done Darth Maul to death. Like she's like, no more. And I'm kind of like, no more, please. But everybody knows my Darth Maul. I do love my Piccolo that I did with Maria Filipovich as well. Oh, wow. All my makeup I do with her. So I did my Piccolo that took 4.5 hours. I did my Quan Chi that took about 2.5 hours as well. Wow. That's from Mortal Kombat. We wanted to do a Kratos.
Oh,
but I'm not as jacked yet. Just wait out
right?
there.
So I'm sure you're not the only one. Do people do they feel like, oh, I don't have the physical body type to embody some of these characters, even though they love these characters? Do you think that stops them from becoming it, or they just go with it no matter what?
Some people let it stop them, but if true geeks, they'll just do it.
And then when they actually step out, they're actually supported by the crowd.
Absolutely.
Like, you are rocking that Kratos, or you are,
Absolutely.
Okay.
But you see, the fandom, the community. The community could be different ways.
It can be harsh, right?
Yeah, it can be very critical and very harsh. But yet again, for the most part, we are very inclusive, and we try to encourage cosplayers to just keep doing what they're doing. Keep. But you are going to find some of those quote-unquote elitists that are like, oh, no, you can't cosplay that person. You're black. You can't cosplay. This person is blonde hair, blue eyed. You can't do that. I do. Me personally, I do All Might. He's blonde hair, blue eyed. So it's like,
you had the blue contacts going for you.
Yeah, exactly. And and that's funny because there are some people that I've gotten some really like rude comments, and I just delete them. I'm like, all right, whatever. You don't like it, tough luck. Just because you don't like somebody, a cosplayer of color, cosplaying something that you don't you love, whatever. Not my problem. block, delete. A lot of people don't understand the power of just literally blocking and deleting people from your life. A lot of people are like, Rob, how could you do that so easily? Very easily. Block and delete. I can block and delete any single person out of my life. For, some people it's harder, because you build a special bond with them, and some people that they're so either insignificant or just so poisonous that you can just immediately just click them out.
Yeah.
And people need to learn to do that. People need to learn to say, hey, you know what? I don't need this person.
Right.
Block, delete. Just like on Facebook, you could block or delete someone.
Oh, yeah.
Block and delete them from your life. Don't pay attention to them. Block them from your phone. Don't let negativity run through, because people nowadays, they have no problem just being negative and feeding off of negativity. And just like that mom mentality comes in, like it doesn't matter, man. It's just, it could be rough.
Right.
It could be rough.
So, kind of backtracking a little, but like aside from sponsorships by conventions and selling your own prints and maybe merchandise, are there any other opportunities that can present themselves eventually when you start making it in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. Like a lot of the time, like with cosplayers, a lot of female cosplayers nowadays are going on Patreon, selling like extra stuff on Patreon. Like male cosplayers do it well, like selling prints or like doing like specialty issues just for their Patreon backers and stuff like that. So that's another way that you can absolutely make money. Just the Patreon has its own issues. I've talked about this with many people. Like there's just multiple different stages out there. There's just regular cosplay, then there's sexy cosplay, then there's like boudoir, like lingerie stuff, then there's like
sex sells, right?
Yeah,
but I'm sure there's some like perverts out there that'll actually and like maybe harass some of these cosplayers.
Listen, the geek community, let's be honest, it's filled up with like about 86% horny men. All right, let's be honest. It's that, like, if you go to a con and you look up any famous female cosplayer, a majority of their fans are men. Like, I'm not talking out my ass. You can just look at
dressing up as some of their favorite characters.
Yeah, right. It's like
a win-win.
It's like some of the female cosplayers that are on Patreon that do some of this stuff. It's like they're making tons of money because they know how to manipulate these men, and I applaud them. I absolutely applaud them, because those guys, they want to see what you have, and you know what you want to give, and if you're comfortable doing that, sure. The only thing I object with is keep your non-safe for work Patreon material, and you're fully nude, like complete porn stuff.
Wow, I didn't know that's a thing.
Oh yeah, it goes to that extent. Not every cosplayer does it, but there are some that fully do like non-safe for work stuff like that, which, like I said, more power to you. I fully give you thumbs up for it, because you know what? You got it, flaunt it. If I had it, I would flaunt it. But trust me, there's no industry for male boudoir cosplay, all right? Trust me, I would totally have done that already. I got abs, damn it. But it's like when you have that, and then you're mixing that with, boudoir lingerie with your cosplay stuff, and then you see like young girls that are like 10, 12, 15, 18.
Get out.
No. When you see those girls like growing up and they see like cosplayers that they idolize, and they see they're mixing that stuff with their regular cosplay stuff, then they're going to start thinking, oh yeah, I have to just be practically naked to get attention. And that's not what we want to, especially for young women out there. You don't want to just say, oh yeah, use your body. No. Absolutely not, because there are fantastic cosplayers out there that do barely show skin, and because they're respected because of their hard work, their craftsmanship, and what they put out there, and on top of that, their attitude and their like the positivity they give. So it's like, I don't care if you do you could do an Ariel from Little Mermaid. You could do the dress Ariel, which that's a very modest regular cosplay. You could do like the seashell mermaid Ariel. That's more sexy because it's a seashell top. That is fine. But if you're gonna do like a lingerie Ariel, okay, you know what? Keep the lingerie Ariel away from the sexy and the regular Ariel, because there are kids that are going to be, this is a Disney character.
Yeah.
There are kids that are going to be looking at that. When they're going on Instagram and they're looking up Ariel cosplay or Ariel costume, and you have your your boudoir or nipple pasty Ariel on your Instagram or something like that, they're going to think that's acceptable for all around cosplay, and it's not.
Right.
Because that's not all around cosplay. That is something that you wanted to do. You know, that was a sexy thing that you wanted to do, and that's completely fine. But if you're gonna do that, put it put it on your Patreon, or just have a special page just for that. Don't combine it with other stuff, especially when you have when you're doing a lot of Disney characters and you have kids there.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I mean, cosplay, it's generally, would you agree that it's a male-dominant industry? But
No.
Was it half-half or?
No. Cosplay is a mostly female-dominated industry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just you have most of the people that actually are out there buying stuff
Are male.
are male.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But as far as competitions go, you're trying to create an equal playing field for both
Of
guys
course,
and girls.
all
right?
competitions.
No matter what character.
It
things
doesn't
like
matter.
that.
Yeah,
Oh.
but that's the beautiful thing about the cosplay world. It is 50-50 male female, but you have there are a lot of thirsty guys out there, as they say. So it's you could run a poll and put 100,000 female cosplayers in a stadium and ask them, raise your hand if you've ever had a guy thirst over you. They will all raise their hand. But if you reverse the roles and say, put 100,000 guy cosplayers and say, have you ever had a female thirst over you? Not a lot will raise their hand. So it's guys are thirsty, so guys are gonna be all up on a female cosplayer, so they'll be like, oh yeah, I want to buy this just to get close to you, and the cosplayers are like, yeah, are fine, it's cool, and there are some people that actually are fans, and they're great, but you hear so many horror stories from female cosplayers, this person ended up stalking me, or this person's just doesn't get the hint, and it's sad, it's really really sad, and with cosplay, that's why that whole cosplay isn't consent thing. Just because you're at a con, don't touch.
Just because you're dressed a certain way.
Yeah, just because you're dressed a certain way doesn't mean that you could come up and put your arm around a certain cosplayer. So there are females that do the same thing to male. It goes both ways.
Sure.
But a majority is just a bunch of thirsty guys hounding over female cosplayers, especially at con. I'm like, dude, no man, come on, have some respect.
Right.
It's you hear stories like this, and then you hear stories. It's just the cosplay world is a great community. It's just you have some small little pockets that just try to ruin it, but as a whole, the community is resilient. And
it looks like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you do you actually sometimes go to cons as a group with a theme?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So instead of every player is has an individual theme.
We did that for Wizard World. We did a big Dragon Ball Z group.
Oh, awesome.
So I did my Piccolo, Steggy Stardust from Chicago Bombshells. She did Android 17.
Oh, cool. The blonde or
yes, thank you. I keep forgetting those damn Android names. And by the way, Steggy Stardust, check her on Instagram, because she is hands down the best cosplay.
Chicago Bombshell at Chicago Bombshell.
Yeah, Chicago Bombshells is the group that she's part of.
Oh, okay.
Her and her fellow cosplayers, female cosplayers, all female cosplay group. They kick ass in Chicago. But Steggy, I'm gonna shout her out specifically because she has hands down the best cosplay period. The best female hella cosplay. It's she looks like Kate Blanchett with her hair down. I'm like, dude, you the boss, yo. She looks so awesome in it. It's so awesome. So amazing. We do theme ones. We do a lot of Star Wars themes. It's a lot of people just get together. C2E2 Friday. We're doing a My Hero Academia meetup. It's gonna hopefully we have 66 people now. Hopefully you could get it.
This is at Rosemont, or where is this?
It is at Rosemont. Yep.
Oh, cool.
No. I'm sorry. It's at McCormick Place.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Wizard World is at Rosemont.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love McCormick Place.
No, you're not a fan, huh?
It's so big.
It's big, yeah.
It's too big. It's too
I
bad.
can't believe the auto show is already over.
Whatever. I didn't even get a chance to go to it. I was supposed to go. Like,
No, yeah. No, it's all good.
It is what it is.
Yeah. What about any other type of sponsorships? Like, where do you get your costumes from? You know?
I make like either I make my costumes or I buy my bodysuits. I usually get from heroestime.com.
Okay.
I have well over 12 to 14 different bodysuits from them. I am like an affiliate member with them.
Okay.
So it's like if cosplayers need like special bodysuits or specific ones, like I actually have
A link.
code.
Yeah.
A link
Great,
that can
great,
actually
great.
get them a discount. As well as the Age of the Geeks, we have a working partnership with Chicago Costume, which is Chicago's #1 costume shop. So it's like if we have any like really big events that we want to do that's gonna have like a lot of like real coverage, we're like, all right, you know what? And we don't like either we don't have the time or we're like, okay, we want to feature one of Chicago Costumes like really amazing costumes.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually partner up with them and do something like that as well.
So you have a shared fund for Age of Geeks that these funds can go into, or is this sponsorship going to one person?
No, the sponsor. Well, the shop. It's not. When we do a sponsorship, it's not a monetary value.
Oh,
so it's like sponsorship for trade.
Like you get costumes in return, or
Yeah.
Okay,
so
okay.
it's like let's say that if we were to promote one of their costumes, like us being able to use their costume and actually show it off would be our perk because like let's say we don't have that specific costume in our repertoire, so we could we could have that. We could be able to put that in our portfolio and get some great shots with it.
Oh.
To promote their costumes because they have some amazing costumes in Chicago.
Right,
like literally, they
right.
are the top Chicago like costume shop in Chicago.
Right.
So it's like we love wearing their costumes, and as professional cosplayers, like we love rocking their stuff. Like especially when we don't have the time to either make our stuff or go out and get it. Like being able to come to the top costume shop in Chicago, wear some of their top costumes to a very high like a high profile event, and then have people give us compliments on that costumes. One, it makes us feel good as cosplayers, and two, makes us feel good that we're working with Chicago Costume.
Yeah, it's just cool.
Yeah, they have some great costumes, that they're doing, and that they're making themselves that they get from their sources, and it works together.
Right.
They get the press and the marketing. We get the press and the marketing.
Now,
and we get to look into it.
how was it easy or hard to get that connection?
Yeah, I'm relentless. I'm a New Yorker.
That's so good.
So it's more so that I don't even remember. It was more so that
Did you need a certain following or like?
No, it was just like I just saw them and I really liked their stuff, and I just said, hey, this is who we are. We could collaborate on stuff. I'm always about collaboration.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming here.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, when I saw your stuff, I'm like, hey, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Because I always like being, like, touching in different aspects of life.
Right.
In every different way and trying to see, what I could absorb from that.
What doors you could open.
Exactly. And with Chicago Costume, like, the people there, Cortland and Aaron, the owners, it's a family-owned company, so it's like they're amazing people, and they would actually make you feel like you're part of family. So it's like just meeting them off the bat and then saying, hey, let's we could do some stuff in the future, and then finally being able to say, hey, here's an opportunity that we can actually collaborate. From that day on, it's just been a great relationship with us, and great relationship with them, and it's like. We just can't wait to start doing some more events with them.
Okay.
2019 too.
Okay. So this next question we'll try to segment into professional wrestling, but during cosplay and during professional, while you're wrestling, do you have the long-term goal of making it as an actor in the back of your mind, right? So while you're in character at both the matches and during conventions, do you feel like you're going to be spotted by someone in the movie industry or the TV industry that might pick you up? Or are you just trying to stay present in the moment and just love it, love the character you're in, love, be in the match and just be fully in the moment? Are you all play or are you some business,
I'm always on.
Yeah.
I'm always on.
Right,
Unless I'm about to go to sleep or I'm home. I'm always on. I'm always trying to market myself, always trying to like spread my brand. In the ring, what you see is exactly who I am. I get to be the hilarious, ridiculous, athletic person that just wants to just have fun. But when I become a heel, like I honestly I love being the bad guy. I just could just be who I want to be. Like being the good guy, the cookie cutter good guy always pissed me off, even in comic books growing up. And mind you, I am wearing an All Might T-shirt, and he's literally the symbol of hope, of peace and justice. But a hero's only as good as his villain.
Yeah.
And I like to be that villain.
Yeah.
You know, and I like doing that.
In every match.
For the most of my career.
Do you think towards the end of the career you're gonna flip it around?
Oh well, I'm a good guy now.
Oh, you're a good guy now.
Unfortunately, I'm a good guy now. I'm wrestling out right now with the Resistance.
The Resistance.
Yeah, you go to the Resistance. It's live-die-resist.org or just Google the Resistance Wrestling. They wrestle in Summer, Illinois, and I'm a good guy there as much as I hate it. But people like me for some reason, and I like that. But nowadays, it's just like I'm starting to take my own life and starting to incorporate it even more into my wrestling persona, aka just being more me. And yeah, there are times that I just don't give a shit anymore, and because I've been too nice for too long.
So you think the villain might come back out?
Oh,
or who knows? You're just gonna let it take over?
Shit happens. That's all.
Are you trying to tell me that these matches are not set up? They're not pre-planned.
I'm saying that shit happens.
So we don't know who's gonna win until there's a winner.
You do not know who's gonna win until there's a 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
That is absolutely for sure. And you know, like this year, going on 10 years in the business, it's been a trip, man. And I've seen in the last 2 years, since I've been injured the last 2 years with my shoulder, and I got back in a ring a couple of months ago, seeing a lot of my friends, just the guys that I was in the ring with, in the locker room with, now they're on Impact Wrestling, they're on NXT, and they're fully in the WWE. I'm proud of them. Or they're in Mexico, they're in Canada, they're in the UK, they're in Japan. I'm proud of all you son of a bitches. Because I'm so happy for you guys. Hopefully I can get there. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get to that level and have one good solid run that may last a year, may last 3 years, depending on how things go. But I am going to put a lot of my energy into it and see what happens. And I'm not going to let people tell me I can't do anything, because anytime somebody tells me I can't do anything, I just tell them.
Watch me.
No, I tell them my name's Rob Fury and I get shit done, bro.
I love that. If you had to pick, would you do cosplay or wrestling or acting? What would you?
Acting.
Acting
for the simple reason that, one, wrestling hurts. It hurts a lot.
Yeah. How many? You haven't broken anything, right? Not in the ring.
No, not in the ring.
But many bruises.
The worst ring injury I've had was I ripped all the ligaments in my upper right shoulder. Okay. So I have no ligaments hanging from my shoulder right now. So it's either right now I'm just dealing with it until that I'm absolutely done with my wrestling career. Then I have to actually do surgery to reattach my shoulder back. Yeah.
What's the craziest stunt you've done?
I went through a table. Twice. Oh, the craziest stunt? My 500th match. I ripped my damn shoulder 2 minutes into the match.
Are you
finished the match. I finished the match 15 minutes. Finished the match 15 goddamn minutes. Go through 2 tables, and then I have another 5-minute promo before I rush to the hospital. That's the best thing. I hated it. I loved it.
Hospitalized afterwards?
Dude, I have literally no ligaments in my shoulder.
Oh.
Like my shoulder's hanging down. I was absolutely hospitalized overnight. I had no idea what happened. If you YouTube Rob Fury 500th match, you'll see how when I go into a trash can, if you're quiet, you will hear a and that's my shoulder, just everything popping. You hear a nice loud pop.
So what were you thinking in the moment?
Ow, this hurts?
No, even right before you did it. Like why? Like nothing stopped. Nothing held you back from actually going through the table or going through the can.
Oh well, going through a can, I just slipped on popcorn, and that's how I. Yeah,
What?
and I ended up slipping on goddamn popcorn, and then I ended up ripping off my damn shoulder. So the ref was like, "Yo, do you wanna?" I told him I'm hurt. I told my Shane Mercer, which was like the guy that I was wrestling against. By the way, he is gonna be the next Brock Lesnar. If you guys have not heard of the Iron Demon, Shane Mercer, you need to because that guy's a beast.
There's no weight restrictions when
No,
professional.
no.
Because I'm trying to picture a Brock Lesnar and.
He's a smaller Brock Lesnar, but he's Brock Lesnar. YouTube him. YouTube him. He is the guy that at a resistance show literally lifted up bleachers over his head and spun it around over his head.
Wow.
You're not grasping what I just said.
No, I
Actual bleachers.
yeah. Like
Actual
a set of like
yes.
yeah.
Actual like gym bleachers.
No people on them.
Over his head. No. You wanted to do that shit last show, though. I'm like, dude, you ain't that strong, bro. You're not that strong. But, like, literally, like, raising bleachers over his head. And
Right. So after that match, is it like knocking back some drinks and beers and just like reminiscing, or like I'm sure it's a pretty tight knit community as cosplay is as well. Or is it not? Do you keep?
Oh, with
do you-
cosplay?
with wrestling, like
Oh, wrestling. Oh, no, yeah. No, dude. Oh, wrestling
Pretty
is
tight.
wrestling is a fraternity or a sorority that if you're not in, you'll never get. And if you're in, you're in. If you're in and you're not a
Sounds
piece
like
of
it,
shit,
yeah.
you're good for life.
wow.
Yeah, I could. There are a lot of wrestlers that I have not seen in years, and if I see them, like, oh shit, like any wrestler that I've seen in the locker room that I'm cool with, I always tell them, anytime you're in Chicago, I have an open door.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anytime,
Wow.
anytime, unless you're a douchebag.
Right.
Then I'm like, no, you're not welcome.
So when you first started, what is there a traditional route to getting in the world of professional wrestling? Do you have to make a demo tape? Who do you have to talk to? Do you need an
You gotta go to
agent?
school.
There's a school for this?
You gotta go to wrestling school.
Get out of here.
Damn it.
What?
Pay your dues, damn it. You gotta go to wrestling school. I ended up starting at the Doghouse Wrestling School in Brooklyn, New York. Such illustrious graduates have been Low-Key and Homicide, part of LAX from Impact Wrestling right now. And I got originally trained by this tag team called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. My initial training, them and All Money is Legal, that tag team, and then I got because of some, let's say I was very overzealous as a rookie and training, and I haven't been training for well more than like 3 weeks. I ended up getting my ass beat. Like to the point that I had bruised lungs for about a month.
Really?
Yeah, and I just at that time things came up, and then I had to delay my training, and then I went back into training a couple of months later. I did it with a couple of months with Mikey Whipwreck. He is the former ECW World Champion and Tag Team Champion. And I did that at his House of Hardcore for a bit before they closed down. I did it with Mikey Whipwreck and Ken Scampy.
Okay.
And then I finished off my training at Gleason's Gym with Johnny Rodz, WWF/WWE Hall of Famer Johnny Rodz. And that's where I debuted, December 10th, 2009. I was in a doubleheader. I was in a Royal Rumble, and Royal Rumble, I was the second man eliminated. I was in the last two, and I was the second to last man eliminated. And then the last two went on to face the Northeastern champion, the WUW Northeastern champion. And at the end of that show, I ended up becoming champion, and I was champion for about 8 months. So yeah, my first debut match, and I won a belt. And I won a belt at the gym where WWE Hall of Famer taught. And, it was great when I was able to lift my hand up and say, hey, I I got the belt. To hear Johnny Rouse say, "Kid, you're going over," I'm like, "Okay." When you hear a Hall of Famer, the guy has his ring on him. Like, if you hear a Hall of Famer say to do something, you shut the hell up and you do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to do your school. Some people, it depends on how long you're in school.
But like, is it more so you go to school to make a network and connections? Or do you graduate with a certificate? Oh.
No, fundamentals. You learn the fundamentals. You learn your basics. If you can't do your basics, you're shit. If you don't know how to bump, you're shit. If you don't know how to run the ropes, you're shit. If you don't have basic footwork, you're shit. If you can't chain wrestle, you're shit.
So what does that mean? So after you finish the program, what's the next step?
Okay, so let's say that it was unconventional because I bounced from here to there.
Sure.
But most people, let's say that you go into one gym. Let's say out here in Chicago, there's a new gym from what's it called? 1 hour tees.
Okay.
So Pro Wrestling Tees. I'm sorry, Pro Wrestling Tees. They have a gym, and then Chicago Style Wrestling with Steve Boz. They have a gym as well. So let's say you go to Steve Boz's gym, Chicago Style Wrestling. What I would assume would happen is you go to the gym, you go to the curriculum, depending on your ability and how you take to the ring. You know, this is in my experience, but let's say you're just going to a gym like Chicago Style Wrestling. They're going to like 1 full year doing that stuff. Depending on how it is, you could just be in the ring for about 4 or 5 months, and then bam, you have your first match wrestling for the promotion, just doing stuff like that. Or it could take you up to a year and a half. It just literally depends on your agility, your ability, your grasp of.
But who's putting you on? Who's setting these matches up?
The booker. The booker is basically the person. The booker is the person that hires the wrestlers for the show. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're coming from a wrestling school, the wrestling school most likely will have a company that goes with its school. So Chicago Style Wrestling has their wrestling school, and then once you're able to, be on a wrestling show and actually wrestle, then you would start wrestling for Chicago Style Wrestling, the actual company. That's how it usually works. I'm not sure if that's how they work, but that's how it usually works.
That makes sense.
Now, a lot of the time while you're going up into and you're learning and you're taking bumps and stuff like that, you would do the remedial jobs. You would clean the gym. You would set up, tear down.
So you're working for the gym.
Yeah. No. You're in class. It's just to teach you proper etiquette. It's like clean the goddamn gym. Clean it. Do what you're told. Clean. It's like the Daniel Caruso wax on, wax off. It's about learning fundamentals. If you're told to do something, you do it. You don't backtalk. You have to learn how to put up and take down a ring, because that ring is an extension of yourself. You need to be safe in that ring. If you know how to put every piece up, you know how to take every piece down. You understand exactly how dangerous and how safe the ring could be. And you do that. If you're traveling, you have like more professional, like veterans there. You learn your backstage etiquette. You stand up when a veteran comes into the room. You don't back talk. If a veteran tells you something, you shut up. You listen. If a veteran, if it's a crowded locker room and a veteran comes into the locker room, if you're the newest guy there, you get the fuck up and you give him your seat. It's respect. You're no one. They have established themselves through years. They have way more broken bones, way more broken this, torn this, stretched that. They deserve that seat. They've earned that seat.
Wow.
You as a rookie, you could get dressed in the hallway.
Yeah.
You haven't earned your place.
Right.
So it's like you have to pay your dues.
Right.
Pay your dues. I always tell people, pay your damn dues.
I agree.
And if you don't pay your dues, well, shit happens in the ring, man.
Right. At what age did you know you wanted to get into this?
4.
Age 4?
Yeah. I told my mom I was going to be a pro wrestler. I told my best friends I was going to be a pro wrestler. Nobody believed me.
Did you know back then that you wanted to be the villain?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Macho King Randy Savage.
That's your name?
No, the Macho King Randy Savage.
Oh, Randy Savage.
Right?
Yeah.
He was so good, and he was my main influence, and after that, I just started watching a lot of more Japanese stuff. Like when I got older into my years, and then, I idolized the Great Muta, Jushin Thunder Liger, Hayabusa, and then American wrestlers. I idolized like Bret Hart. I mean, Canadian wrestlers: Bret Hart, Chris Benoit. I know we shouldn't mention him. And Chris Jericho, and I idolized American wrestlers such as Kurt Angle. Shawn Michaels, and Mr. Perfect. So it's like I've always loved wrestling, and it's just like the love wavers here and there at times because the WWE sometimes has been putting on some lackluster products, and it's just like life has gotten in the way. But now I'm getting back into it, and like I said, I got one more run left in me.
Yeah.
May that run be a year, 3 years, 5 years.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So when coming up with the persona, with the narrative, how do you get that narrative out to the public, and how do you hype the public for that match? How do you get people to like, I gotta see this match, whether in some form or another, whether in person or live streamed, whatever it is. How do you get them excited to see
Well,
or to feel some type of way about it?
Well, a lot of people know. A lot of people have known who I am, and people that don't know who I am. If I'm going in and doing a promo for a new company that I'm in, like work for a new company, I usually do a promo saying that, hey, you get to see me, coming here and blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna do a promo now. Okay, so
sample promo.
So basically, like for one of my things, I'll be like. Blender wrestling. There you go. You have a blender bottle on the thing. You're like, what is up, my friends? The ASS Rob Fury here, and Blender Wrestling. I am coming for you. April 2nd, you will understand why I am the mogul of hotness, the king of sexy, the crown prince of damn you're so fine, the number one reason why the divorce rate in the United States is so high, and wrestling's number one cosplayer. That's why I am not the ASS that you want, but I am the ASS that you need. Rob Fury is coming for you, baby, April 1st. So it's like I would just do something like that, and then people are like, oh,
and send it out via like social media, or
like Instagram. Okay. Well, back in the day it would be Facebook, put it on a Facebook feed, but like Instagram, right. Twitter,
That's
do
awesome.
something like that, and it's fun. It's fun. I love being a bad guy, especially because everybody hates New Yorkers, and I love being the New Yorker, and people want to hate and hate.
Yeah. Are there costumes that go into wrestling?
Oh yeah, I get my gear. Like some of my gear, I get them done by a multitude of different people. Wrestling gear is expensive. It's like brand new wrestling gear, like a full set, is as expensive as a pair of Louis Vuittons.
Oh.
Yep, for a full set of gear, I'm talking about like if you want to get kick pad covers, knee pad covers, trunks, and a vest, you're looking at like $500.
Wow. Who would be your ideal sponsor if you could be sponsored by someone?
For wrestling?
Yeah. Funimation or...
Oh, man. Holy...
Toriyama. Like, who would be like your perfect sponsor?
Dude, if I could get Funimation, and if I could get like... Because
DC.
I got the Adidas edition Dragon Ball Z's on.
The Freezes?
These are the Freezes.
Oh my goodness.
The Freezes, absolutely. So it's like if I could get someone like have like a Dragon Ball Z or a My Hero Academia themed like gear, that would be sweet. Because I actually come out to You Say Run, the theme of My Hero Academia. So it's like I'm thinking about getting more MHA gear. So yeah, that would be sweet if I got them to do it. Or like if DC were to give me some Green Lantern stuff. Oh yeah.
Who's the traditional sponsor? Maybe gyms or
there is no professional wrestling sponsors.
No sponsors?
You have.
So there's an opportunity for a sponsor.
Oh, I lie. You have companies like Strong Style which is a clothing brand that they sponsor a few wrestlers. You have Pro Wrestling Tees that they sponsor a few wrestlers. I believe they do. I'm sorry if they don't. And you have Collar and Elbow that they're clothing companies, so they're starting to sponsor wrestlers. So there is sponsorship, but yet again, you have to be like the creme of the creme to even get sponsored. So. Like with pro wrestling, I don't worry about sponsorship as that much.
Is this more of a passion for you? Or?
Yeah, I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
And I keep doing it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have not seen me wrestle, and know I still got a whole lot. Yeah.
Right. So to kind of come back full circle, the end goal is to be a thriving actor. What would be your ideal? You want TV or movie? Like, what do you want to do?
I would do both, but my main goal right now, and I always repeat this, and I think it sounds stupid every time it comes out of my mouth, but I want it to be a recurring character, like a show like Flash, Arrow, Legends of Shield, Agents of Shield, Legends of Tomorrow, and like one of those shows, and to be a recurring character, so I could go to different cons and just tour cons and just give back to the geek community. That's what I really, really, really want to do. But I just want to be in the geek like zeitgeist. I want to be in in that.
You want to bring it back to the fans.
Yeah, and like
you're for the people.
Yeah, TV and movies. That's what I do. Like I started doing a lot of small projects. Just finished wrapping up on like I did 3 horror movies now in the last 6 months, and I don't care for horror, and that's the hilarious thing. I don't care for horror whatsoever, but yet again, I just wrapped up with 3 different projects, and one of them was in LA, and I was doing a supporting role right next to Eric Roberts, which is Julia Roberts' brother.
Right.
He's a amazing and established 80s actor.
He's in Dark Knight.
He was in a Dark Knight. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He was Falcone.
Falcone.
Yeah, there we go.
Right,
Totally forgot about him.
Right.
I know him mostly for Best of the Best.
Okay.
I love that movie.
Okay.
But so it's like things are going, and I'm doing a few projects. I'm actively on backstage, doing auditions. I just came back from an audition today from Chicago PD.
Right.
It's like things are moving, and I have about 6 or 7 things on my IMDb right now. I plan on by Thanksgiving I want to get 12 to 15 projects under my belt.
And it's quality over quantity,
yes,
right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There are a few projects that I got callbacks on. And I did the research on. It's gonna be a complete waste of time. It's not gonna improve it. It's not gonna be challenging.
So learning to say no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think doing extra work is a good way to get your feet wet?
I've done some extra work. I do extra work. It's not something that I put on my resume because a lot of people don't care.
Oh, okay.
Because honestly, I've been doing a lot of research and I've done some classes, and they said that if you put so much extra work on, then you're gonna be known as extra. So it's I've been getting a lot of either lead or supporting roles, and I've been trying to focus on that. But being an extra is absolutely beneficial because you get to be on set.
Yeah.
An actual set. See how the set works. See how people act. See how people do not act. You get to meet casting directors. You get to meet the people. Friendly faces. If you're there, more and more people are like, oh yeah, that person. Oh, I thought of an idea because there's a role up. Actually, you thought about that person now. So that's a good way to get your foot into the door. Ways. Go on classes. Take classes.
Okay.
I am very fortunate that I am part of an ensemble cast for Chicago's only Japanese improv game show, Batsu Chicago.
I stumbled upon that through your page, and it's a Japanese game show.
Japanese improv game show.
I am hoping to hit that up one of these days. But
awesome.
What is it? So it's interactive. It gets the crowd going in it, or
yes.
Okay.
So basically, you have 4 warriors, and they're going to fight
to try to take the evil spirit and encapsulate it back into its hidden cage. But the way that they fight this demon is through comedy. Batsu Chicago.
Well, that sounds interesting.
It is the best thing ever. It is like last Saturday I had quite possibly the best show I've had since being on in that.
Are you the host or are you a character?
I play one of the characters, one of the supporting characters, and there are times that I am one of the lead improv comics.
And how involved is the audience?
The audience.
Because I see pictures with like random people.
We actually do before the show starts. We actually have people sign waivers, and they actually get to participate in like some activities. I'm not going to ruin it because you have to actually be at Bot's
We'll make it.
But yeah, it is great. There is fan participation, so if you do go to Batu Chicago, go there early if you want to participate. Don't be one of those people that come out late. And yeah, they will, even if you don't, if you're not participating in the show like outright, there are opportunities, there you go.
Okay.
For fan participation, scream out suggestions and such like that.
Improv is just so fun in that way.
It is great. It is great. And Batu Chicago is like one of the best improv places that I could have been fortunate to learn from. And they've been around in New York for well over 11, 12 years now, I believe.
And then came to Chicago?
And I came right after their first year anniversary, right before their first year anniversary. So I've been part of the cast for about a year and a half, I think, going on 2 years this July, I believe. Going on 2 years now.
So is it a school as well?
Yes, they actually do have
like IO and Second City.
Yes, they have classes that they have improv classes that work with specifically one working on your basics in improv, and two working on the specific mechanics that go into a production of Batu Chicago. Yes, there's a reason why we have so many sold out shows every weekend. Like I remember that one time we had like 3 or 4 months straight sold out shows. So it was great. And like every weekend that I have done Batu Chicago since November, since I amped up my like involvement there, we've had like sold out shows like every weekend I've been there.
That's awesome.
And it's boss, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be around like a bunch of like talented people that are just trying to just make people laugh. They just want to entertain.
So how do you have time to audition if you're wearing this many hats and you drive on the side? It's like
I just do it because my actual profession is I'm an event manager. So that frees me up because depending on the multitude of events, I either am completely inundated at times or I have a lot of free time. So with that, I have times to go on audition. So it's like, just like my agency rep today just called me this morning. It's like, hey, Rob, audition 3:30. Make it? Yep. There's no. The moment you tell your agent no, you probably won't be hearing from them. You have to always be ready to pounce on
yes person,
action. Yep, and I'm there. I'm always ready.
When you go to the audition, is there a line of people before you? Or do they set up blocks for you to actually go in?
There's always blocks. There's a time, the time frame. So there are like certain blocks could be like, let's say you come in at 3:00, and then there's another block at like 4:15, and it's
that's a long audition.
Yeah, and like for a role that I was auditioning today, there was about like I believe like 4 other black guys auditioning for this one role for a black guy. So it's like it was like crap. It's like, okay.
Gotta nail it.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give you what I got, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, hey, I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah. So how many auditions have you done in, let's say, 2018?
2018. 2018, I was not as focused on my career because I was literally trying to wind down my cosplay responsibilities, and that That went all the way until the end of November.
So, okay, so if you were to set a goal for 2019, how many do you hope to hit in 2019? How many auditions?
Oh, I don't. That's.
You don't want to put a cap on it?
Oh no. Auditions. I have no idea how many auditions. All I know is that I want to have 15 new credits
Okay.
by Thanksgiving. So auditions, it could be anywhere between 20 to 50 auditions.
Oh, so, and that was
I
my
can
next
only get
question is
15.
how many rejections does the average actor get?
I like me just starting off right now.
Yeah.
Like I've auditioned for very few things, and I've actually gotten those parts. So it's like I'm just starting right now, so I'm very lucky. So like the horror movies that I was lucky that I was actually approached to do it because of my makeup experience and because I'm an actor. So though that happened, and the LA movie, there was a casting call and I sent in my stuff and he was like, "Hey, I like your look. I want you to come in." So, that worked.
Like they fly you out to LA, or
No. I was already going to LA.
Oh, okay.
Just for vacation. And
Gotcha.
"Hey, we like you. Come out."
Sure.
So it's like, and recently I just auditioned for a couple of shorts. Some shorts that I couldn't make it because I actually wasn't feeling well. But then again, I looked at it. I was like, okay, it really wasn't going to do anything really for me to improve my craft. And when I got accepted for the villain for a web series, so it's like, and we actually have a reading this Saturday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's things are happening, small projects. As long as I could get small projects, small films, indie films, student films.
That reminds me of, have you seen the fan-made Uncharted movie by Nathan Fillion?
No, I have not.
So I'll try to send you that. It almost looks like the game, which the game itself looks like a movie. But Nathan Fillion did it so much justice, and that just like, when you're waiting for a large production company to get a project off the ground, and just like there's so much politics behind it that some actors or people with some big money can just throw in into a passion project and make something happen.
Yeah.
So if you had a group of friends that wanted to make a fan-made film and you felt like you would bring it justice, that's also bringing you exposure, right? So I mean, I'm sure that's what's probably going to be happening with your shorts and web series.
I already have a project that I have a treatment that I wrote over 3 years ago that I haven't had either the time or the passion or the capabilities of actually making it come to fruition. But now I'm going to be partnering up with Raven Roulette Productions, which is the production company that did the last two horror movies I was in, which is Mr. No Face and and Curtains, which will be coming out this October. So we're actually going to be working on a brand new concept, that like a treatment that I had, and they're going to be coming into the action genre. So I'm going to be putting together an action movie, an 80s-esque style gritty action movie short.
Like Pulp Fiction-ish, or?
Kinda, I'd say probably Grindhouse meets Pulp Fiction, kinda. It's. I still don't know where the direction we want to go. I want to go with it yet, because it could be a little humorous like The Last Dragon, or it could be extremely serious like Death Wish.
Okay.
So
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's here and there, but yet again, I literally said I'm just going the Vin Diesel route. I'm going to write, direct, and star in something, and I'm just gonna get it done. And I have a lot of people that are interested in this because they know my motivation. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Especially if I'm gonna start gathering forces together, I'm just gonna get it done. Yeah. And I want everybody part of the project to get their just deserves and the just credits. And I want to make sure that it's on IMDb, so everybody can get an IMDb credit for this.
Right.
That's what we're doing. We're not doing it for just for shits and giggles. We're trying to get that IMDb credit. Damn it.
Right. How important is it to have an agent? Could you get auditions without an agent?
You can get auditions without an agent, but helps.
Yeah.
Like without an agent, you'll probably get a lot of extra auditions, and unless like you're signed up for like backstage, you won't get a lot. you really will just get extra auditions. But yet again, it's like if you're on websites like Backstage and it says, "Oh yeah, you're part of this agency," you kind of looked at it a little bit more serious because you have representation.
Right.
Like it doesn't mean that just because you don't have an agent, you won't make it. Like I didn't make, I still haven't made it. I'm just starting.
Right.
You know, it's like this is really really cool that you see like I can actually start documenting the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like there's some people that already have some type of fame, and they're like, oh yeah, well this is how I'm getting bigger and bigger. No, this, you know, I made my bones in pro wrestling. I made my bones in cosplay. I made my bones in like New York club promoting. Now I'm gonna make my bones in acting, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This was something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to make sure.
Right. Was it hard getting that representation? Like, are there agents out there that would deny, like the opportunity?
I don't know.
Okay.
I auditioned for one talent agency, which was Lily's talent agency.
You have to audition. I didn't know that. So yeah,
yes, you have to audition for a talent like unless like you're absolutely gorgeous and you're walking down the street and somebody's like, oh my God, I need to get you. Yes, sir, lovely. Which barely happens. But no, you have to audition. And if there are people that audition for talent agencies, they don't get a call back. And they're like, oh, okay, thank you for coming. Bye-bye. But if you audition for a talent agency, 99% of the time, before you even leave that area, the audition area, they're like, hey, we want you to come here. Here's your onboarding packet.
Okay.
Congratulations. This is what you got to do. Get headshots. If you don't have them, blah, 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 blah,
Okay.
blah.
So when you audition, do you get to pick what you do, or do they throw you something?
You usually come in, like, for my auditioning process, I did a comedic, first I did a dramatic role, a dramatic monologue. They always wanted to see you in a dramatic monologue. After a dramatic monologue, they want to see how versatile you are, and they ask for a comedic monologue. So it's always drama and comedic. You know, that was for Lily's Talent. Other places might be different, but I think it's probably uniform all around.
Okay.
And and from that, I stressed the hell out of it, you know, because
you took it seriously.
Yeah, it was crazy as hell, and I definitely thank my bestie, partner in crime,
Tori Bell,
Victory Bell, Tori Clark, aka Victory Bell. She's the one that recommended for me to do the monologue from Hustle and Flow, and I really dug it, and I still never saw the movie.
But you nailed it apparently.
Yeah, I liked it, and I did a good job for that, and I did the monologue from Winston Bishop from The New Girl.
Okay.
The character Winston Bishop. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, apparently he is like my doppelganger.
Oh.
So I did him, and people were like,
I've seen a couple episodes.
Winston, like, yeah. They're like, you got it. That was awesome. So I got it for that, and yeah, I'm with them for on camera. I'm with them for print modeling, and I'm with them for voiceover.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just trying to get my voiceover stuff done. You know, Funimation, if you're listening,
hey,
what's up?
You need a new voice to be part of your cast. Come on, hire me.
Yeah. Kind of sounded like a Cell versus Mr. Satan kind of thing.
Gohan, no.
Oh, get out of here! That's a really good pickup.
Goku, it's all up to you. No!
Thank you. That was awesome.
I still want to meet Chris about it. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh man.
To see him.
Oh man.
Give him my plus ultra voice.
Yeah. That's awesome. I don't really have any other. You pretty much.
Like we ran the gamut. You bone dry with the comment.
I mean, do you have any other advice for someone just to dabble into or get their feet wet into acting?
I would say, just don't give up, dude.
Yeah.
Don't give up. People are always going to shit on your dreams. They're always going to say, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too dark, you're too light. It's always something. And the naysayers, you got to tell them, you know what, go frack yourself. Because it's not about what you want, it's about what I want. and I want this, and I always tell people, if you want something bad enough, you get it, you do it, because especially like a lot of my friends in the dating world out here in Chicago, they're like, oh, people suck, like I don't want this, I don't understand. I'm like, listen, if that guy wanted to see you bad enough, he would make sure he sees you. If you wanted that video game before it went sold out, you would have gotten that video game. If you wanted that last piece of cheesecake before that last piece got eaten, you would have went up.
So stop making excuses. Right?
Plain and simple.
Stop making excuses.
Plain and simple. Just go and do it. And just people are always like, oh yeah, it's hard. Well, you know what? Yeah, everything's hard. Get over it. It's called life. If you really want it, you do it. And yeah, you're always gonna get lazy days. And you know what? I will say, yeah, everybody deserves a lazy day, but make sure those lazy days don't become lazy weeks.
Right.
You know, or a lazy day, singular, or take a couple of hours to rest. Don't make a lazy day turn into lazy days.
Is it really your passion if you are making it a lazy day?
Exactly.
Yeah. And to supplement all this, you know, kind of like how we came together, you supplement your income with being a Lyft driver.
Yeah, I do Lyft and Uber just like whenever I have the free time. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to... well, a lot of the time it's extra cash, but a lot of the time I'm like, you know what? I feel like having a conversation today.
Right? So we kind of had a great conversation. Have you had any other awesome connections come out of driving?
Every day I drive, I always have a great conversation with someone.
That's awesome.
There are times that, let's say out of like 6 to 8 rides, I'll get one or two people that are like, I don't want to talk right now. I'm like, hey, yo, all right, dude, do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. All right, I'll listen to my music. I'll jam out as much as I want. But like a lot of the time, like people are like, man, thank you for the recommendations. Always recommending them either My Hero Academia.
Gyukaku.
Oh, Gyukaku is the best. That shit is the best. 210 East Ohio Street, people. I tell you, go to the one on Randolph Street. I forgot the address on Randolph Street, but it's the Shiznachyu dash KKU Gyukaku. They're great. Follow my Instagram also.
Oh my god.
But like I always like I'm telling them like we just me and my lady just finished watching the 2000s out of the documentaries on Netflix. It was the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s. Next year's could probably be the 2010s, and it was great. You know, it's like it's good stuff, and it's like I love having intellectual conversations or just geek passionate conversations with people. Yeah. When it's just Monday, when I ask like talking about Doctor Who, I put it on my Facebook yesterday or a couple of days ago. And I was like, oh, I can't stand the latest Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. I don't think she's the Doctor, and it's not because of her. I think it's because of the lazy writing. And then, of course, I get the hardcore Whovian fans are like, oh, she's the best thing since Matt Smith. I'm like, yeah, really? It's kind of like that Gene Wilder like meme that Billy Wong could be like, oh yeah, so you think
tell me more.
You think Jodie Whittaker is really a good doctor? Tell me more. Come on, because it's absolutely bullshit. And I just hate when people are just like when I tell them, give me a reason why you like this, or give me a reason, and they're like, well, I don't really have a reason. I just like it. Then why the hell do I need to listen to you? It's like everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion, just like everybody has an asshole. Right?
Yeah.
Your opinion's just shit to me unless you have facts and actual valid points behind it.
Yeah.
I don't care what your opinion is. Unless you have something like that's actual like validity behind it saying, oh, well, I'm citing this, or here's a fact this, or this is from this source. Then fine. If you just say, well, I feel. Well, good for you feeling. Good job. I feel too. All right? There's a song that's called I Touched Myself. They felt too. All right? I don't give a shit about how you feel. All right? I don't give a shit how you feel. I don't give a damn how you feel. If we're talking about something that's in the pop culture zeitgeist, I don't give a shit what you feel. There's literally proofs in the pudding right there. In there, like out in the public that you could cite. All right, don't give me that shit. All right, it's crap.
So that's funny. Let's close up with what are your thoughts on The Rock? Inspirational?
You mean Dwayne Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, that's mad random. I'm like The Rock. I'm like, first I was like, hold on. Is it the movie The Rock?
Sean Connery. No, the Dwayne Johnson.
I think The Rock is doing his shit, and I think he's awesome. Like, that guy has to be one of the most inspirational, like, cool dudes ever. I've never met him. If I ever did, I would love to shake his hand and just talk to him. And he was like, growing up, I was The Rock. I had the eyebrow. The first wrestling shirt I had was the original Brahma Bull t-shirt.
Oh, there you go.
And I would talk like The Rock, walk like The Rock, and it was so sad. It was so, seeing myself now as a wrestler and like, I'm like, oh, I don't do that, dude. Don't do that. Don't be a mark, man. Like, come on now. But no, I definitely love The Rock, and I actually can't wait to see his new movie, right? Cobbs and what is it?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Cobbs and Shaw, yes.
Well, he made one based off a girl that wants to be a wrestler.
Oh yes, the one with why am I blanking on her name?
Oh, I'm thinking of his
Paige.
name.
Yes.
I'm thinking of the guy's name from.
Oh, another guy. Oh, you're talking about for Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it? Something North. I forgot his name. But yeah, keeping up with my family or living with my family.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was really good.
Oh, it came out already.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I heard it was really good. I did not get to see it, but I will see it. I got a movie pass.
Yeah.
I got a movie pass. Movies are not worth. Some
Worth
movies
like
$13. Yeah, some movies are not worth buying, and like the Rock stuff, I would pay for. Other stuff.
That's interesting. I some of his movies just seem like just The Rock over and over again, kind of thing.
Well, hey, you know what? If you don't like The Rock and you're in a Rock overload, step back. Don't watch a few things and just wait like a couple of months and then watch it on your own free time. You know?
Yeah. I heard he just put on his Instagram like Danny DeVito's going to be the next Jumanji.
What?
Yeah.
There's a new Jumanji. Oh, I need to talk to casting director.
Right.
I need to, like, yo, Rock, what's up, baby?
Right.
I could be a stunt double.
So that being said, I keep like opening it back up, but like, would LA make more sense to do some acting, or Chicago is a pretty good place to do it?
Acting, you have 3 different places. You have LA, you have Chicago, and you have New York.
Ah, okay.
So you have New York for TV, you have Chicago for TV and movie, you have New York for TV and movie as well, and you have LA for TV and movie. Depends on where you are. Just wherever you're at, just go hard where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah, just go hard where you're at. If you're in New York, go hard there. If you're in Chicago, go hard there. If you're in LA, go hard there. If you're not anywhere near those places, try to do as much as you can in your community. Do a lot of short films. There are a lot of look up a film school. Talk to the film students, especially the seniors. They need like thesis projects they have to do. Last project, talk to them. Get on their projects. They're always good because their stuff is usually crisp. Find out casting directors if you already have some stuff down. Look up casting directors of movies that you want to be a part of. Like if you want to be a part of like Miramax movies, Warner Brothers movies, find out their casting directors. Like me, I follow on IMDb, I follow Andrea Romano. She's the casting director for all the DC animated movies. And I love
slide in the DMs, boy.
Right?
There you go.
Just slide in the well, she's not on.
She's not.
She's not on. I think she's just on Twitter. I don't think she's on Instagram.
Okay. Well, shoot her a tweet.
Yeah, slide in the Twitters.
Yeah.
But just don't give up. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep going to classes. I'm telling you, do not say no to theater. If you do as much theater as you possibly can, because theater says that you know how to act. You have range and you actually know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
So do theater, do small projects, do fan films, do short films, do indie projects, do everything that you could possibly do. Anything that will make you grow, that will give you different characters to work off so you could make your palette more diverse.
Yeah, which is exactly what you're doing now.
Exactly. And you could do that by going to Gikaku because they have some amazing food.
Okay.
Your food palette, better.
Well, Rob Fury, we are humbly grateful for you spending some time and sharing some wisdom, and I had a blast, so much pleasure today just speaking with you, and I hope to, we will watch you throughout 2019 and the rest, and hopefully you get that 15 marks on IMDb and things like that, and hopefully we can reconnect after some much hard-earned success. But thanks for spending time with us, and for everyone else, thanks for sticking with us, and stay curious.
Peace.